When was the last time you experimented with your creative work and tried to turn it into something new? Hi there, my name is Brian Collins and I'm an author from Ireland. And in this short video, I'm going to talk about why you should experiment with the form and with the substance of your work. And then I'll give you a practical tip for doing just that. So a couple of years ago, I visited this place. This is the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, and it holds one of the world's largest collections of art. And as you can see from the picture, it's a massive building. It takes hours to get around. It's the kind of place you could spend days in and not see everything. And while I was there, I remember looking at all the art and thinking that, I should really try and take some of this in, because how often am I going to get a chance to visit a place like this? However, as I wandered from room to room to room, I kind of struggled because there was just so many great masterpieces. And I wasn't until I got into one particular room and I saw some art by this guy. So this is the French artist Henri Matisse, and he's famous for his sculptures and for his paintings and for the way he was able to represent music using his paints and the blank canvas. And I was struck by some of the paintings in his room. In fact, I was so struck that when I was walking out of the Hermitage, I took a print, or I bought a print from the shop, and I went home, and a few weeks later I framed it and I hung it in the room where I'm recording this video and where I like to write. And this is actually a print of La Musique. It's one of his most famous paintings, and you can see the bright and striking reds and so on, and it's as if the figures on the painting seem to represent music itself. But what really struck me was not just this painting, but the way Henri Matisse experimented with form and substance throughout his life. Because although he was a famous sculptor and painter, when he became older, he actually struggled with ill health. He lost a lot of his strength, he became wheelchair and bedbound, and he wasn't able to paint or to sculpt anymore. But what he did instead was he turned to a new form of creative expression. He created cardboard cutouts using scissors and large pieces of paper. This is an example here of one of those. And he said that he felt as if he were drawing with colour while creating these cardboard cutouts. And I was struck by how he was able to, what would seem like a limitation, and use that as a means of experimenting with the form of his work, of his creative expression, and create something entirely new. So what does this mean for you? Well, this is my tip. So if you've written a chapter for a book, for example, consider how you can turn that into different things. Perhaps you could record a video lesson about the chapter in your book, like I'm doing now, or perhaps you could turn the chapter in your book into a speech. Or similarly, perhaps if you're a poet, perhaps you could share some excerpts of your work on the likes of Instagram, or perhaps you could create something compelling that you could share on YouTube. So what I'm getting at here is, rather than trying to create something new and something fresh each time, go back and look at older examples of your creative work and see, is there something you can tweak or adapt, or can you transform it into a different way that will reach a new audience, just like Henri Matisse. So this is actually a lesson from my book, The Power of Creativity, an uncommon guide to mastering your inner genius and finding new ideas. And if you're interested in learning more, the book is available now on Amazon, or if you go to thepowerofcreativitybook.com.